Welcome back to one of the stunning views in the world, the Statue of Liberty here in New York, as nighttime has descended here over on the East Coast. But speaking of stunning views, if you are Belgium, then this was one for you indeed. Belgium clawing their way back to overturn a 2-0 deficit. Senegal were winning 2-0, but then Lukaku came on, scoring a goal in the 86th minute. And then Yuri Tielemans was the main man for them, getting another goal just a few minutes later, and then was awarded a very controversial penalty in extra time that was eventually netted, and Belgium completed a 3-2 win. All right, well, we've also got Jürgen and Kasey still here with us, but the talk of the town, Herc, is not about how Belgium pulled this off, but it was whether or not Belgium should have been awarded that penalty. What did you think?
Well, that's how they pulled it off, and that's why we're talking about it. I wouldn't have called the penalty kick. I just mentioned in the previous segment that anytime you have a still frame and you freeze it, it can look like a foul. It can look like an infraction. Anytime you slow down something, it looks worse than it actually was. At full speed, I don't understand how you can call this a penalty kick, especially with what's on the line, especially in the moment in which this infraction was called. No part of me thinks this was a foul, and the fact that we're having this discussion after the the Fowler and Balogun red card, I come out with the same feeling. Mm-hmm. It's the inconsistency that leaves me doubting where this is going and leaves me frustrated as a fan in the sport.
Jürgen, what did you make of it?
Yeah, totally to discuss. I mean, you can have all sorts of opinion on this one. I think it was not intentional. He didn't want to hit him, but he hit him. It's in the box, and you can give that as a penalty. For me, obviously, I favor the striker in that moment. For me, it's a penalty.
All right, Jürgen's a penalty. Kasey, do I hear you chuckling over there?
Well, I'm just chuckling because I think the rule is clear and obvious, and it wasn't called in the match. And then it took 5 minutes to figure out if it was a penalty or not. So to me, that shows that it wasn't clear and obvious. So I would say the other thing, if he had called it a penalty, then I don't think they clear and obviously could have not called it a penalty. But I think when he didn't call it, you go to VAR, you look at it for 10 seconds, you go, oh, yeah, that's not obvious. Okay, you go back and you say, well, I got to stick with my original decision. And I think that's where it gets frustrated when you sit there for 5 minutes looking at 75 different angles, and then you go, well, yeah, that's a penalty. Well, that's not the rule. The rule is clear and obvious. It wasn't. It should have stayed with the initial decision.
Yeah, and I am completely with Kasey, because it's for me, it's an amazing game from both teams.
Yeah.
And then we have a lot of times now that the referee is the main person then, because we discussed about is it or is it not. The rule is clear that if it's a situation that it is something like where you look at it and you go, it's a penalty. So the referee will not seeing it. But if he has to go to the VR, he goes to the monitor and he looks at it, and then he still takes so much time. It's clearly that he's not 100% sure. Mm-hmm. And it goes a discussion between the people behind the monitor and him. Yes, no. And then it has to come to an end and to a call. But I think it's just like in moments like that where you have two teams battle till the end to go to the next round. I don't think that a referee has to come then into place to make that decision to give the clear win to Belgium.
And it's a shame because one team's going home.
Yep. Heartbreak for Senegal. Absolutely heartbreaking for Senegal. But in the end, it is Belgium that will go through and look at that. A familiar face as they will face off against the USA in the round of 16. Kasey, a lot of the feeling is that despite the fact that Belgium walloped the US in their last friendly 5-2, Belgium have been very underwhelming from what we've seen in the World Cup, at least until they produced that stunning comeback here today. So this should be a comfortable game for the US. How do you feel?
Yeah, comfortable. Yeah, sure. Ask Senegal how comfortable it was in those last 10 minutes. Look, this might not be the Belgium of, the last 10, 8, 6 years, but Jeremy Doku on his day can absolutely tear defenders apart. Kevin De Bruyne can still make the play that nobody else on the pitch can make, and clearly Lukaku can still come off the bench and put the ball in the back of the net, plus all the other players, Trossard, the list goes on. So Belgium's a very good team who hasn't quite peaked. Maybe that last 10 minutes plus, being awarded that penalty was just what they needed. But look, I don't think it's a team you fear, but it's also a team you have to extremely respect because on their day, they can be, a very, very difficult opponent.
Herc?
Absolutely agree. Jeremy Doku was crazy good when they played against the U.S. men's national team. Luka Bacchio was a very good player when they played against the U.S. men's national team. Put the U.S. men's national team in some very compromising positions and put 5 goals in them. But the first 20, 25 minutes was all U.S. men's national team, and they were very good. You take what worked for you, you learn from it, and you learn from what didn't work. And be careful what you wish for, but I think if you had to choose between the two, you would choose Belgium. Senegal presented physically and tactically a lot more problems for the U.S. men's national team. This is a very, very tight matchup, but one that I think the U.S. national team would be up for.
Yeah, they will be up for it indeed, and it will be a battle royale in that round of 16 game. Right, just a reminder that ESPN FC, we are on every single day, plus in the morning time or early afternoon. Tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern time, you can catch us on ESPN 2.